All right, everyone, here we are with another video with Invest for tomorrow. And to all the first-time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. And to all the subscribers, welcome back. All I ask for in return is for you to smash that like button to let me know you watch this video. Helps out the YouTube channel, and it lets me know you appreciate the time and effort I put into making these videos. Right after this chart analysis, I have a few ticker symbols to mention just to share with you guys the experience that we had today. Today was a great day. We hit home runs over at the Discord. And while the stock market was down, right, we were making money in the stock market. That's the goal of the Patreon and Discord for Invest for Tomorrow and the community of Invest for Tomorrow, regardless if you're on the YouTube or anywhere. We're here to maximize profits, minimize losses. So if that's something that interests you, you can join us over at the Discord or Patreon. The links are down below. And I'm telling you guys, you will learn a lot and the opportunities are endless. But let me show you guys what happens towards the second half of these videos, and this is why I want to emphasize this to you guys. So this is an example of a stock, Zomedica stock, from a few months ago, way back in March, or I think before. Actually, there's the date, actually back in March. It's about to be a month old. So I talked about Pinduoduo when it was sitting at like around 125, and this thing shot up to 147. This was one of our best gainers from the end of March going into the beginning of April. And I mentioned it on the second half of the video. The first 4 minutes of the video, right, before those 35 seconds, the first 4 minutes are right here. And you could see the drop here right after the chart analysis. That's all people look for. And you guys, I want to be honest with you guys. These chart analysis, whether it's Ctrm, Zomedica, anything, these are stocks I do not hold. I only trade, or I probably don't even trade them at all. I just make the stock chart analysis video to help investors that are learning, growing, or just give confirmation to any investor that is aware of these points and just wants to get an extra set of eyes looking at the stock for them, right? So I do it out of my own gratitude, really. So a lot of people are missing where the money's at. This is a stock I mentioned over at the Patreon like a week before I mentioned it here. Or I think it was that same weekend of that week, either or. And I mentioned it when it was like at 124. And it hit a low of like 119. And I started mentioning it here when it was like around 125. So every single investor on YouTube had almost just as much of the same advantage opportunity than the people on Patreon, right? Just on the Patreon, they got to know a little bit earlier. And on YouTube, you got to know right on time where strength was showing. And from 125, this thing shot up to 147, a nice 10 to 20% return as a swing trade within days. And look how many people left. So I'm going to ask of you guys that right after this chart analysis, just one time, give me 5 minutes after the chart analysis, right after I'm done with this, on the second part of this video, so you can see the opportunities that you may be overlooking, not just in the Discord, but also the Patreon, which is the weekly watch list. And you'll gain access to both when you try to enter either or. You'll gain access to both my weekly watch list and the Discord, where I talk about daily opportunities, where we look for 10 to 20% per day. 20% and above is a home run, and today we hit a home run with one of them hitting 30% plus while the stock market was down. Okay, and that's what we try to do. Maximize profits, minimize losses. So here we are with CTRM. CTRM hit a low here of 41 cents, shot up all the way to 52 cents in the last several days. And today we saw it hit a low, right, of 43 cents in the pre-market, and it took off to 48, pulled back down as the day was rolling out, 45 cents, and shot up. So what's our support and what's our resistance? So the 50-day moving average is 46 cents. Anything above it is bullish. We're in bullish territory. Anything below it is bearish. The first support level to watch in bearish territory is 45 cents if it goes down that way. But we're sitting right now nearly at 48 cents. I'd round that up, 47.99. So what's our support? Our support here in bullish territory is 47.54. So you want to watch carefully to the hundreds and thousands place how this one is acting, because it seems to be significant. So that is a very important point. If the bulls get broken through and pulled down and the bears are gaining domination here, you want to watch how it reacts between this support and the 50-day moving average. Now our resistance, super important. I would use this point because it's the highest point before the rejection, but I would actually use the highest point of the day, which was 50 cents, due to the fact that it's not that far away, literally to the hundreds and thousands place. So 50-50 right there. Super important point for the bulls to turn that into a support, to pull upwards, reach newer highs and new resistance levels. If you learned something new, don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button to let me know you watched this video, and it helps out the YouTube channel, letting me know that you appreciate the time and effort I put into these videos. And all I'm asking for, guys, is 5 minutes of your time so that you don't overlook where the money's at. You're leaving money on the table by not just checking out those last few 5 minutes to 6 minutes of me talking about a ticker symbol you want to add to your watch list. Now, I do have a few things to mention first of the home runs we hit today. And right after that, I have the ticker symbol you won't want to miss that has been beaten down. And I stated once it gets closer to $15, this is a big opportunity. So stay tuned for all that information. So the ticker symbol I want you guys to add to your watch list is one that I've talked about since last week. And I've been talking about it several times, actually, for almost 2 weeks now. And I want you guys to add this to your watch list. But before we jump into it, I want you guys to be aware of what's going on in the Invest for Tomorrow community over at the Discord, over at the Patreon. And while the ticker symbols were going down, right, overall in people's watch lists and people's portfolios, and even the S&P 500, while it was down 0.64%, we're over here making 5 to 10% on these days. So while the market's going down, I'm always going to look for the opportunities for us to make money no matter what. We're here to maximize profits and minimize losses, okay? So I'm going to talk about the littlest move, and then we're going to talk about the bigger moves of the day. So this is one that I mentioned, and it was CLNE pretty early in the morning, right? And CLNE was at 13.55. So we caught this one right on a dip here, right? Around this area. That was its lowest point right there. And it ran up to a high, right? A few minutes after to an hour of 14.26. So this one gave us nearly 5 to 8%. And that's what we look for, right? In the pre-market. The rest of the day, this was terrible, right? This got destroyed. But that was what we were looking for on the news that came out. And a lot of investors that have been in it before were going to get out. And not only that, you got to think about the investor sentiment of investors that have been in this since way back here. And even before that, they said, you know what? I'm going to lock in profits or cut my losses and lose a little bit less. So that's why we've took a big hit here for the stock. Now, long term, you got to do some research to see if there's opportunity here. But what we worried about was those 5 to 10%. Now, here's our other home run of the day. So CLOV, okay? CLOV, it was actually sitting close to $9. And I stated, it was a lot better to catch this at $7 when I first talked about it. I talked about it last week. I talked about it for the weekly watch list stocks. So if that's something that you're interested and you want to know the weekly watch list that I'm always watching for long-term and swing trade opportunity, you can join us at the Patreon and you'll gain access to the Discord to know the daily watching stocks. So Clove, we went ahead and talked about Clove, and Clove was acting very, very bullish early in the morning when I first talked about it. I talked about it at the point where it was sitting close to, I'd say 9 and some change, right? And it was early in the morning and it was pulling back, right? It had kind of pulled itself up, pulling back to 930s. It ran back up to 973. So that 40-cent jump wasn't going to give us much, right? So I told everyone, watch these towards the bell so that we know what's the real movement. Watch them towards the bell so we can see which volume they're getting to understand the stock's direction. So it actually ran a little bit. So if you caught it at the low here of 938, 936, it ran up, came back down. It hit a low here of 951 and took off to 986. So it gave us like 50 cents there. So that was around, I'd say 3 to 5% if you caught it around that area. And if you were able to stomach the volatility, or if you didn't catch in before and you let it drop a little bit and you caught it at 918, this ran up to 1050, okay? Just to round it down in just a matter of minutes. This right here was a total jump of 10+%, almost 15%. But let's talk about the home run of the day, okay? And I talked about AMBO. It's another stock picking up volume, and it got a lot of news with Amazon partnership. And I was talking about how these penny stocks were bumping today because not only was AMBO running because of Amazon, but also CLNE had jumped because of that. Now, it's currently sitting at 246, needs more volume. And as I was typing, it was slightly passing the 1 million in volume, which is what we like to look for. And that doesn't always guarantee anything, but it was a start, right? That was getting us to understand what's up. So we caught this one at 236, okay? So this dipped after a run, it dipped and it pulled back, right? Right here to lows of 242. So we caught this way back here, okay? Back at this moment. So we caught it at the best dip and we rode it. And right there in just a matter of minutes, it gave us more than enough. Like in the pre-market. I'm not even kidding. Right there from that point forward, there was a big opportunity. And it pulled back into the opening of the market close to 237. And it took off to 289, right? That's all we look for. 10 to 20%. This stock gave us more than 10% on that jump. And at the high of the day, it gave us beyond our expectations, okay? Way past 20%. And here are some results of one of the investors. And this is where we post our profits. And I'm going to zoom these in just a moment. And this was the day trades of AMBO, thanks to Invest for Tomorrow. So to that investor, thank you for pointing that out, giving credit where it's due. But I'm going to give credit to you because you hit a home run today, and that is what we're looking for. That's what I want everyone to do with these positions. So this person went ahead and bought at $3,300 and sold at $3,600. $300 right there. Bought back in at $3,500 and sold at $4,000. So that right there was a total amount just between those two of almost $800, okay? And then we have another one here that gave another $300. This was $1,000 in one day in a matter of an hour or two at $1,200 and sold at $1,500. Now, am I guaranteeing these results every single time? No. But what we look for is 10 to 20% to maximize profits, minimize losses. And if this is something that interests you, you can join us over at the Patreon and the Discord. The links are down below, and we look forward to have you join us. The slots are filling up quickly, guys. I do want you guys to be aware of that. We're on our way to 100 members, and I look forward to you guys joining us. And I have a series to equip you guys and prepare you guys to become better traders at maximizing profits, minimizing losses. And we're out here making money while the market is red. So what's the stock I want you guys to add to your watch list? So this stock has been beaten down really hard, okay? When I first talked about it, I stated that this could fall closer to $15. And if it did, it was going to present itself as an opportunity, okay? I went ahead and talked about that almost a week ago. I mentioned it again. And for the last 2-3 weeks, I've talked about this one. And this is way below where I mentioned. And Kathy Wood loads up on this one. There's a lot of institutional ownership going up. And this stock will be one of those that's set to explode in the long term. So SKLZ, I definitely recommend doing your research, doing your due diligence. And when you're playing this one, you got to know you're investing in the future, right? This is a new technology that's going to roll out to be more enhanced. So it's basically bringing the past to the present and turning it into the future, because there's going to be like betting on there and stuff, playing games that we know since our Nokia phones and since way back when we used to not even have touchscreen phones, like regular phones, playing bowling, solitaire, things that you would play on the computer. And they're looking to expand. So this is a stock to do your research and understand as much as you can at these levels, because the opportunities are endless. Now, I'm not saying you're going to get your returns right away, but this could possibly be a swing trade for the next several months, or it could be a long-term play for the next year or two as this company grows. I mean, the company does have to grow. They have some work to do. But like I said, you're investing in the future when you invest in skills, SKLZ. This is definitely a stock you want to add to your watch list. If you want to see the full weekly watch list that I just posted this weekend, join us. The links are down below. I look forward to have you guys join us. We have an incredible group of smart and intelligent investors over at the Patreon and Discord, and you are able to become part of that as well. We look forward to have you join us. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.